Well, welcome back to part 13 of the EVA Pod build. Today we're actually going to start masking and painting the back door that goes in the back, so that should be fun, so let's take a look. Well, hello and welcome back. Just working on the door here today. Starting to mask some areas that I want lit up. As you, on this door panel and this area here, it's going to be black. And it's a full decal that fits in there, I believe. And then it has two little red areas which light up in a screenshot I have. In a screenshot I have it, you can see those red areas are lit up. You also have the explosion bolts that go on these areas, which are probably too hard to see in the camera, but they're little raised areas. They get semi-lit, and we're going to try to do that. Let's see if I can get that to work. Of course, the big caution explosion bolts sign, that's all going to be lit up, so we'll mask all that off. And then this decal here, you can see a little light on it. And I kind of want to make a little light effect, so I'm kind of doing a little bit of an angle on this square. It's like a square raise, because then there's two grips that go here. One there and one there. And this is recessed. This is raised up a little bit, and then it has the decal, which fills up the complete square raised part. But I'm going to make a little kind of an array to kind of look like it, make it look like there's a little, see if it works. It might be so small and minute, it might not work. To make it look like there is a light source up here, but on underneath like a lip, just to shine on that warnings, label. But if I can get that to work, that'd be great. And then I'm going to hit this with a black to help mask even more when I have black on both sides. But I only need to mask roughly. I'm not, I think I can just roughly where that's going to be back here. That way I can hit the most of this pretty hard, and especially for these bolts, if I black both sides. Back here, I think I'm just going to leave and just mask the whole square area, and just leave this side to give that array kind of vibe to it. But let's look where we're at here. I put the interior inside just to see how everything looks from the outside looking in. Down here, I'm going to paint. You're going to see like a little piece of this, the door track. I already hit it with a, and it's going to deal with a door scraping back and forth. But yet I want it painted, so I did use an adhesion promoter for when I paint this, and it's going to be the same gray that I used for the floor, and then that'll blend that in. So that should work. But I'm just seeing, and then on the piece that gets glued back here, I did the red, and I'll pull this out so you can see that. I did the red there, so if you look into the door at this angle, you'll see, bringing some of that ceiling red down in, because I want to make it look like most of that's a red paneling with the consoles then being in the blacks. This side really won't matter because it'll have the door. It'll be this edge of the door back in here, so we don't really have to do anything there. I just got to decide on how I want to do this edge, especially the exposed edge when the door's open. I think I'm going to make this whole thing a red panel, even the edge, and then the back we'll do in a white. I mean, I could then just paint this, fix this seam, and do this whole thing white, but to me they're panels, so if this is the exterior hull, which would be white, and then they attach a interior panel to it, you should have, to me, I'm not always, and that's just how I feel. I don't know how it is in the movie either. I don't know if there's any screenshots of the edge of the door when it's open. That would give me the best way, the definitive way. But also, I agree that it would be panel-like if, like your car interior. You can see where they screwed on or snapped in the panel on the exterior door. And did they try to, so that's why I think I might just, it's just two things. I don't have to fix this seam, but that's not a big deal. That's an easy seam to fix, to hide. And I don't only have to do that edge. Everything else is going to be hidden. It's going to be hidden in the track, You never will see it because it'll be in there. But I kind of like the idea of having that panel. It makes it, to me, a little more manufactured. This would be a manufactured thing. Having many of them, so. I figured take the deal off of like a car door and how they would panel that together. We can pop this out now, although it's liking being in there now. But yeah, since I did that edge of the panel red, but kept it black back here, so it looks like so it looks more like a like the console, like this interior part is a separate entity. Then kind of gives you that more, instead of this is one piece of plastic like it is. So gives you a little more depth in it, and you'll barely see it. If you're looking at that angle, most of the time you're going to be looking straight in, so that's fine. This side gets covered by the door, so, but it's coming along good. Yeah, and then here's the upper track. So I have that painted red. So if you were looking up, you'll see this red rim. So that brings that whole red interior color all the way around. And I did the adhesion promoter on this, and that paint's on there pretty good. I don't plan on opening the door that many times, so hopefully that works. So, but what we need to get back to doing is finishing up this panel so I can cut this excess. So that's why I always, from your Aztec kits, and that's from Aztec Dummy. Yeah, I always save the extras because he gives you a lot of extra things. Especially if that's all kinds of window holes. Because all these there's the oval window holes, and you won't be able to see them on camera. There are bigger oval holes, the round holes, and then I got some smaller oval holes here. I figured I could always use to mask something. But yeah, I'll use those. I think those will give me enough blocking for the black. Some Tamiya tape. Move because there's a little bit of an edge there. It looks like, and then it's like a double recess. You can see where the decal's actually going to sit. And there's a little bit of a lip. And I can just go in and trim. Nope, missed the corner there. Okay. I think that's all we need to mask from this side. And there we go. First, let's do this side. So we can use these little, see if these, I don't know if I have ones that have a little bit bigger, but most of the 350 Polar Lights Enterprise kits, they're about the same. I think this will work fine. Because only the center of the bolt looks like from the picture is lit. And having these little vinyl circles masks is part of the reason why I said, okay, I'll give it a try to do these explosion bolts. Go. But I think that's going to work as far as giving me a good enough diameter. Just trying to make sure we're as close to the center as possible. And like I said, I don't even know if that's even has a light on it, but from that shot it's lit up, especially more towards the bottom. So, but we'll light the whole thing because of ease and try to make it look like there's a light source under this lip. So that'll be, and that's, you know, a good way to experiment with something too. You never know how things are going to work if you don't try. So that's the other thing, to get the red to match, I got to have spray this black as well. And it gives it a whole different color palette to the red. It makes it a little darker. So that's one reason why I'm doing that, so these match better. I had to do it with the edge that's on the interior as well. Alrighty, well, I just bought some of this, so might as well use it. Some micro mask. I don't have I want these to be masked off a little larger than here, because I'm not sure, you know, I can do that whole hole instead of trying to double, you know, you can see through, so I could always put a tiny little, use one of those little ones and put it right on this side, but it'll work fine if I got some micro mask I found really cheap. Or I could just use the old toothpaste trick. But this I found at a really good price, so why not use it or get some? It's pretty much just a liquid masking tape. But since these are actually little, almost not holes, that they're holes, it gives it a cup for it to sit in, which will make it perfect. So there we go. Imagine this is water soluble. Well, that's pretty cool. I didn't know you could actually cut it, but I guess it is a liquid vinyl, so why not? That's cool. So you can pretty much overbrush something and then cut it more defined. So cool. So if that's the case and that works really good, I might be using that more often, because that made it fast. And since I'm going to be spraying red, I'm going to hit the inside of this area with the red. The only spot you could possibly see would be this way from that angle, maybe. But just to, I'm not going to go. It has to be perfect. Same back here because the door slides in. But you might see a little bit. I'm not sure. I think if we put this, I'm not sure. The door is pretty much larger. And then we got to figure out with the track to make sure we're not hitting anywhere. Because I heard about that kind of thing. And then we got to figure out how wiring in here too. Get a good flexible wire so that, you know, since this door is going to open and close, you don't want a stiff wire. You want a nice flexible wire to come in here and feed power to this. But yeah, let's let that cure, set up. Yeah, and then it'll be the next thing I want to just hit that rim with some red, just in case. Because I think it's easier to do that red now Then I can actually mask this off, and then when I hit the white, any of the overspray will be taped off. So, well, welcome back, everyone. I already did a light blocking coat on the front and inside of the door. And it came out okay. Went as light as possible on the inside here, but like I said before, it will give me some pre-shading in the color to match with the ceiling that I already did, which because I did that all black, and it gives it that darker red. I also went and hit a little red on the inside around here, just in case, you know, I could see from like an angle like this. You could see a little bit of the edge here, and then with this part of the cockpit area here that I did red, we'll have that match right up to it. So that'll blend all that in, I hope. That's kind of what you'll see from the outside there, so that's good. So, and then down here I painted this part of the door track gray to match the floor, so hopefully all that blends in together and looks like a coherent built piece. So, but yeah, I went and I gotta fix this little peg here. It's a little bent, just a little bit out of line with this here. It wants to keep hitting there, you see, so it needs to down and a little bit over, but we'll do that in the final assembly. We'll get it to line up better. But yeah, I just wanted to hit inside there just in case. Some things you can see. Figure while I had the red paint out, it wouldn't hurt. We got that all painted up, so let's get this door painted. Get some air on here. So pardon me for the loud fan noise. Get a little bit on here. I do want to hit this edge really good too. Make sure. So that's the edge of the door you will see. Pause and hit that for a fan really quick because the fan is, hair dryer is really loud. So I'll pause for that quick. Alrighty. Now we got that. I'll do another coat. Quick dry again. And this will take several coats because it is a craft acrylic, so it's going to want to take several coats, but I do want to kind of leave some shadowing too. So. overcoat in some areas either. And another quick coat. So it's drying here. Some of that shadow in there. I try to concentrate mainly on the more upper raised parts. We'll see how it's coming along to the... Still got a little more red to go down to get it to that. And I thinned this a little more because now we're getting to where I can start doing just a little bit lighter coats. It looks like it's pouring on, but there's a lot of water in it. So it's just a constant spray and dry. Like you can see, it takes some time to really get a good coverage. We're out of paint again. Like I said, it takes a lot of coats. But I'm not going to bore you with these because it's just going to take a few more coats. Probably one more batch mix up. That's the nice thing about this stuff is it's so thick that it makes up a lot of paint with one of these just 59 milliliter bottles, because you add most of the time you're adding like at least 50% water to them to get them to spray correct. But yeah, I'm going to keep trucking on here, get a couple more coats, maybe get another coat or two on the inside of the door inside here, and then we'll come back and I'll start to I'll get a clear on it, seal it, and I think I'm going to run a little shadowing with the rust red that I did with the sealing as well, but we'll see how this looks. If the the shadows come out really good. But I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.